So do you dabble a little bit in the stock market? Do you have some cryptocurrency, maybe Bitcoin? Let's talk a little bit about the impact of those assets and or investments and as it pertains to your financial aid. What's up, everyone? Just wanted to really quickly talk about the impact of certain investments and or assets that you might have as a student. Maybe you dabble a little bit, you're an investor, or you're a parent and you're looking to, just understand the impact of some of these things and how it's going to have the impact that it's going to have, on your students' aid eligibility. So when it comes to your assets and things like that, and I've done several videos talking about assets and FAFSA and financial aid, so you can definitely check them out if you subscribe to our channel. But more directly, I'll say that your assets are definitely not going to be assessed the same as your income. So your assets, when it comes to your financial aid eligibility, regardless of what asset that might be, it's going to be based on when you actually apply for financial aid. So today, hypothetically, you have a $1 million net worth. And let's say over the course of the next month, you made some bad decisions and you lose $800,000. You lose 80% of your net worth. In this example, well, if you apply for financial aid today at that $1 million net worth, they don't care about the loss that you go through unless you're going to be using that money to pay for college, and then you can communicate that in an appeal. But when you complete the application forms today, you are worth $1 million. Same thing as if you did not complete the forms today, you waited until maybe after you had that loss, then you complete the forms. Now you're worth $200,000. You're worth a lot less than $1 million, which makes you look a lot better when it comes to aid eligibility. So your assets always matter at the time you actually are applying for financial aid. Now, a lot of people are reaching out to me and asking, they had a GameStop investment or cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, things like that. People are asking me questions about what is the impact going to be on their aid eligibility. And really it goes back to, what are you going to use the asset for? Are you buying and holding? Or are you buying and, to liquidate? So buying and holding is definitely an asset. And you value that asset accordingly, but depending on, are you taking losses, how much did it cost, taxes, all those things you want to take in consideration when you really evaluate the true net worth of that asset. Although the asset can be worth on paper, let's say $1,000, once you take in consideration all the fees and expenses that it's going to take to liquidate that asset and use those funds to pay for college, that $1,000 net worth can be more like $500. It can be 50% depending on your situation and depending on the asset. So making your investments as a buying and holding is definitely going to be just an asset. Your students, you're looking at about a 20% assessment over the asset protection allowance. Parents, you're looking at about maybe 4 to 6% over the asset protection allowance. And once again, if you don't know what the asset protection allowance is, I'll try to put a link in the description so you can see a video that I made talking more about just that. Now, if you're buying and liquidating, now not only did you have an asset at a specific point based on when you complete the financial aid forms, maybe you had that asset, maybe you don't, but once you liquidate, now that's considered unearned income. Income is assessed a lot greater than assets. Income, for students is right around 50%. Income for parents could be anywhere between 20 to maybe high 40s, close to 50%. And it's a moving scale, so I'm not going to give you, and every situation is going to be slightly different depending on your age, your income level, your family household. And so but that's the window. And if you want more specifics, you can definitely reach out to us and we'll give you a little bit more specific detail based on your situation. But if you liquidate that asset and you use the money to do whatever, whether it be pay for college or buy something else, whatever that might be. But once you liquidate that asset and so your tax return, now it's considered unearned income. Now, income is always based on prior year. So if you do that this year, hypothetically, and you're completing the FAFSA forms for this upcoming fall, it's not going to have an impact on you until 2 years later. Okay, so 2019 tax returns will impact your 21 FAFSA. Your 21 tax returns are going to impact your 23 on FAFSA. So depending on where you are in the process of college or college planning, maybe your student is already in college, maybe they're nearing college, but definitely And it works in reverse. If you may have had some losses on that asset and you decide to liquidate, and those losses, can go on your tax return and reduce your AGI, which also can increase your aid eligibility. So it can be a little confusing, but I just definitely wanted to address a common question that we're getting about cryptocurrency, Bitcoin. Should you buy it? Should you not? If you think it's a great investment and it works for your portfolio and your overall objectives, definitely take advantage of it. As it pertains to financial aid, the asset value, because it's a non-qualified asset, it's going to be viewed a certain way based on the CSS profile and or the financial aid forms. But if you're holding that asset, it's really only considered an asset. If you're liquidating the asset, then it could be considered income depending on when you liquidate and how much based on when you actually made the initial investment. But hopefully this video was helpful to you. If you have more questions and you need a little bit more clarity on what I'm talking about, please don't hesitate to reach out. You can reach us at info@greatabovecp.com. Once again, my name is Josh Smith. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel. We make videos like this on a regular basis. And thank you much for checking us out. Be on the lookout for some more videos to come. We'll talk to you all soon.